You still recording? Is that good? Stay on it, because I want this to be said publicly. Ain't nobody trying to control nothing you do.
That's right.
That ain't it. That ain't it. I'm just trying to tell you, be sure that whatever season you're in, that you're sitting in the right place and getting the right instruction. That's all I'm saying. Praise God. All right, now. All right. So we talked about Jubilee. And the season we in. Okay, I felt my release. I'm good now. All right. That was all prophetic. I ain't preached yet. I'm going to preach now. Everybody say, preach, Bishop. Preach. Not for real. I'm going to take about 5 more minutes. Y'all need to quit playing in church. Quit playing in church. Y'all quit playing in church. I'm convinced we're going to have enough in life to cry about. We're going to love each other and we're going to grow together. We're going to get stronger. Amen. Look at your neighbor and tell them that you love them. I may not know your name, but I love you. I may not know your name, but I love you. I may not know your name, but I love you. I may not know your name, but I love you. Okay, watch this. Now watch this. There are some particular times. Turn me to Exodus 30 real quick. Exodus 30. Exodus 30. I'm going to share this real brief and I'm out of here. Amen. It's 9:16. I'm going to be through by 9:07. Y'all pray. Exodus 30. Thank you. Y'all so funny until I put my word prepared in church. Jokers, y'all so funny. I love y'all. My God. Okay. Let me share this with you. Exodus 30, verse 10. Did we lock up? Exodus 30, verse 10. Let's read some scripture real quick. And Aaron, watch this. You reading with me? Yes. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it how many times a year? Once in a year with the blood of a sin offering of atonement. Once in a year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy unto the Lord. So he says, watch this, he's talking now about the Day of Atonement. He's speaking to Israel. He says, Aaron, who is the high priest, is going to go in and make atonement once a year. I've been sharing in the app, for those of you who follow in the app, we modified the app now, and when you go to the app now, you'll see the lead caption says, Shalom Yisrael. Shalom Israel. That's where you're going to find information about events that are happening with Israel. That's where we're going to be posting things. So out there right now, I've been updating the schedule for this feast season. As in today's Rosh Hashanah, then there'll be certain services and things that I'm going to put out there because I've been worshiping in a conservative Jewish synagogue, Agudath Israel, with Rabbi Scott Kramer. So I've been worshiping there. So tonight at 6, I'm going to be in synagogue with the Jews at 6 p.m. to bring in Rosh Hashanah. Now, I am a Gentile. I'm a black man. I'm a Gentile. Okay? So it ain't no big deal. You know, if your faith ain't big enough to keep you in a different place, then what kind of faith do you have? And let me clarify, this is not a light and darkness thing. It's not a thing where we're doing anything evil or out of God's order, but you have to have a certain level of maturity to understand and deal with this. Why? Because as we told you earlier on in the series, in Genesis 12, God said that of Abraham, all the families of the earth shall be blessed. Now, what's outside of all? Nothing. So that means I don't care whether you're black, white, Puerto Rican, no matter who you are, if you're not Jewish, your blessing is tied to the Jews. It's tied to we are a Judeo-Christian nation. Judeo means Judaism. Jesus was not a white man. He was not a black man.
That's right.
He was actually of Aramaic nature. He was a Jew. So all of our art and literature, when we paint Jesus white, that's not correct. If we paint him black, that's not correct. You better put a little bit of color in him and make him at least look like a Jew. He's Jewish, y'all. And that has nothing to do with our race, but it does have to do with our roots. Okay? And y'all know me right now. I'm not a racist guy at all, but I want you to understand the thing. And what has happened is throughout time and history, every man paints him from his perspective. We paint from what we see in our innermost being because we identify with him. Okay? So all this Jesus was a black man movement is not correct. The Bible says that he was not comely at all. He wasn't no good-looking fellow. LeBron looked better than Jesus. I'm messing with you, Bravo. Jesus, he wasn't nothing. He was not fair to look upon. If he walked into the room, he looked plain and simple. He was not a stud. He wasn't big in stature. He wasn't super muscular. He wasn't fine. If he walks into the room, all you feel is an atmosphere shift. But you wouldn't just necessarily turn to him and say, who was that? He was not coming. He had hair like lamb's wool. It was curly and locky. It was kinky. It wasn't straight, it was kinky. That's what the Bible says about it.
That's correct. That's right.
But that does not make him black.
That's true.
It does not make him white. He's a Jew. I know that may not be popular, but it's true. All right? So watch this. So I've been worshiping with the Jews, and when we talk about here Aaron, and Aaron shall make an atonement. When we go into the temple and we read the Torah, we read the law, because they're still under the law. They're not in the dispensation of grace as we are. They're under the law, so things are different. Here's the difference. They work for it. We inherited and work after it. They work and practice and do to gain favor from God. We as Gentiles, through our salvation through Jesus Christ, we get the favor and we work because of it. Yes. So it's not, they are a community of works. It's in what they do. That's why you see a lot of Jews doing very philanthropic things. They spend a lot of money on helping other people. If you remember, I think Rico went to it the other week. They had a film, Rosenthal, that played at the Capri. Didn't you go by there? They played at the Capri, and it was about a Jewish man who helped start thousands of black schools for African Americans. He invested in money. We got schools right here in Alabama that were started by this Jew who said, I want to help the black community. But it's not something we talk about. Even Tuskegee University was affected by it because they worked everything through Booker T. Washington. He was not the face of it, but he was the funding of it. See, it's history. So when we talk about Rosenthal, Tuskegee University still has a day where they celebrate their root being found in a Jewish man who gave them the money to start the school.
Well,
you didn't know that, did you? But it's true. So they're about peace, and soon through our men's group locker room, we're gonna partner with the Jews to go start doing some rebuilding on some of the schools because they're historical landmarks now, and we're gonna look at partnering with them to go in and clean the schools up and get them on the historical registry. Nevertheless, Aaron, when they read the Bible, they read the Torah in the temple. Even today, it must be read first by the priest, then by a priest of Aaron, and then by a priest from the tribe of Levi. Then after that, any of the other tribes can read. But they cannot read the Bible or the Torah, let me be specific, the Torah, the first 5 books, the Pentateuch. They cannot read the Torah with Aaron missing. Levi can be missing, but Aaron can't. So, right here, anybody ever heard of Cohen Electronics here in the city? Cohen Electronics? Anybody wave your hand, you heard of Cohen? Those are Aaronic priests. Mr. Cohen, the guy that owns Cohen Electronics, is an Aaronic priest. Every Thursday morning, he waddles lists him up there. You know, he's about 80, he's a little old man now, but he's just a wonderful guy. He waddles up there and starts going to walk time and starts going into reading the law. But they can't read it if he's not there. Because his bloodline comes from Aaron. So when God talks here about Aaron doing these things, he says once a year, the Aaronic priesthood has to go before the altar and offer a sacrifice. Next verse. Now, this is the Day of Atonement. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, next verse, when thou takest the sum of the children of Israel after their number, then they shall, watch this, give every man a ransom for his soul unto the Lord, and when thou numbers them, that thou be no plague among when thou numbers them. Next verse. Watch this. And shall give everyone that passes among them that are numbered a half shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. The shekel is 20 gerahs, and a half shekel shall be offering unto who? The Lord. Verse 14. And everyone that passes among them are numbered from how old? 20 years old. From 20 years old and above. So watch this. Everybody that's 20 years old and above